Welcome to SVG-TV News for Monday, February 27th, 2017. I am Jennifer Richardson with the details. Chairperson of the SVG Tourism Authority and General Manager of the Young Island Resorts, Bianca Porter, is calling for the revision of this country's marketing strategies. Her comments came on Sunday during the Views on Issues radio program, during which she spoke at length on the AIA's prospects and possibilities within the business and tourism sector. According to Porter, the construction of the international airport was a significant milestone in the name of national development, as it is regarded as a gateway to a world of opportunities while placing SVG's tourism product on the same platform, so to that of international standards. Hence the reason SVG has to lift its game.
Most of the airlines were actually waiting for the airport to be completed, and we can now say it has successfully been opened. And now that it is opened, many of the airlines who we would have been in contact with are now looking to see how they can work with us. And of course, we need to follow up with them as well. We have some strong niche markets. Diving is one of our strong niche markets. Sailing and yachting, ecotourism, and the romance niche market. Romance, of course, covers weddings and honeymoons. So we have a very good product. We now need to engage the airlines, and we need to also step up our marketing efforts.
When asked to weigh in on the increasing criticism of the lack of incoming international flights since the commencement of operation at the AIA, Porter said persons should not be too concerned about that at the moment, making reference to neighboring Grenada, which she said commenced their operation slowly with chartered flights before transitioning to a fully functional international airport.
But that doesn't happen overnight. You look at Grenada. Grenada for years had chartered flights before they even had scheduled international flights coming in. And so I believe, of course, we had some charters coming in, and we'll have more charters coming in over the course of the year. Easter, Carnival, of course, we have the 40th anniversary of Vinci Mars in June, July. And that will be followed by the scheduled airlines coming in, because, of course, airlines take at least 6 months before they put their schedules out. So it really would not be possible to have scheduled flights in immediately, but that will occur. And you know, I've met a number of persons, including some people just a few days ago, who spent 1 week in Barbados, and they said if we had had an international airport, they would have spent 2 weeks here in the destination as opposed to 1. And so the airport is here now, as I've said to them. So in the future, they can spend their 2 weeks here with us, because we will be moving forward to make this venture a success.
And marketing manager of local exporting company Vinci Fresh, Shelley Fraser, says her company is already positioning itself to take advantage of the opportunities to be derived from the operations of the AIA. Fraser said Vinci Fresh is vigorously investing in the strengthening of its locally made brand with the intention of expanding to international markets.
We are currently working on a marketing strategy. With this strategy, we are looking at strengthening our Made in St. Vincent and the Grenadines brand. We are not too sure of the cost that would be involved in actually getting the product from the farm to the table, which is the end users. I am pretty sure that there are some consumers who would be willing to pay a premium for that Made in St. Vincent brand.
Meantime, Executive Director of the Chamber of Industry and Commerce, Anthony Regisford, says without the AIA, SVG was being robbed of investment opportunities.
If you don't have that sort of access, then you're limiting what an investor can do. In the hospitality sector, I'm talking about. True. Okay? And that's what it is. You're not going to go into a city if it doesn't have electricity, if it doesn't have water, if it doesn't have infrastructure. Extra. The airport is part of an infrastructural pillar, which anybody who wants to invest in any serious hospitality plant would want to make sure that that is there. I am not saying that they aren't hoteliers or people who build hotels that like the idea that the destination is hard to get to. Okay?
It's a selling point also.
Yes, I'm not saying that. And I know plenty of people argue that, right? I believe, and I'm just looking at hospitality, I believe that the airport does not take away from the destination that is St. Vincent and the Grenadines in terms of its exclusivity and all. All it does, it provides more possibilities. And certainly for the mainland, which is not really known as a big tourist destination.
Yes.
Right?
Head of the UWI Open Campus St. Vincent, Debra Dalrymple, is emphasizing the importance of funding to persons pursuing higher education. Dalrymple was speaking at the university's graduation ceremony last Friday, commended entities for giving back and assisting students with their education in the form of low-interest loans, bursaries, and scholarships. The head of the university pointed out that giving back towards the empowerment of the country's human resource is an excellent way to develop a nation.
Provision of access to the university through the open campus sites, therefore, are not simply convenient, but it is an avenue through which individuals can improve their academic and professional competence. At the site, we recognize that funding is often a hindrance, and we have sought sponsorships in the form of bursaries from the corporate sector. In this regard, we acknowledge the assistance of the Mustique Charitable Trust, Querres Hazels Inc., the Eastern Caribbean Group of Companies, and the General Employees Credit Union. There are other companies and institutions which also support our students, and we thank them also.
Reiterating the need for financial educational support was president of the local student guild and valedictorian Nick Francis, who is also the recipient of the Mustique Charitable Trust bursary. He outlined that while many persons wish to pursue higher education, a lack of finance is a hindrance to many fulfilling their dream.
The decision to enroll was just the first step. I am quickly reminded of Ecclesiastes chapter 10 and verse 9. A feast is for laughter, and wine maketh merry, but money answereth all things. We must therefore applaud those organizations and institutions that provide scholarships and bursaries to students in support of their academic dreams. I stand here today as a bursary recipient of the Mustique Charitable Trust, and I take this time to express my deepest gratitude to donors from Mustique and Mrs. Lavinia Gunn for their kindness and generosity. We must also acknowledge the Disadvantaged Student Loan Program and other credit facilities that provide the necessary financing for our students to realize their dream of a university education.
In keeping with its commitment to reach out to the youth of this country, the SVG Police Force last evening held a concert in Victoria Village in commemoration of the 9th anniversary of the Pan Against Crime initiative under the theme, "We Love Pan, Together We Made the Change." The initiative, which seeks to create a path for the youth not built on crime, has been deemed a success over the years and continues to grow within communities throughout St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We hear more about the celebratory event in this report from SVG-TV's Nikita Tony.
Aiming to create an alternative to crime and violence for the youth and most of the overall Vincentian population by utilizing aspects of the cultural art form, the Royal St. Vincent and the Grenadines Police Force, in collaboration with the National Commission on Crime Prevention and the Pan Against Crime Committee, on Sunday, February 27th, celebrated the 9th anniversary of the Pan Against Crime initiative with a concert in the Victoria Village area. Noting that it is not uncommon for music or musical instruments to be used to fight crime, Commissioner of Police Renald Hadaway said the Pan Against Crime initiative, which came into being on the 20th of February 2008, continues to foster productivity among the nation's youth.
In conjunction with the National Commission on Crime Prevention, the Royal St. Vincent and the Grenadines Police Force facilitate the largest, and I boast about this, the largest summer program throughout the Lenten bread of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Let's unite to curb the scourge of crime and violence, especially among our young men. Remember that unity is strength, and music unites us as a people.
Encouraging persons gathered to be their brother's keeper, Deputy Chairman of the National Commission on Crime Prevention, NCCP, Dr. George Frederick, who also delivered the exaltation, stressed the need for Vincentians to deal with the facts, as things are not always as they seem.
We would have thought that 2016 is the worst year in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, because we had indeed the most murders ever committed. That was shocking. But what we are not knowing, if I didn't bring it to your attention, is that last year, of those 4 horrible years where crime is concerned, we had the least crime to deal with. This is our land. If you hear people are planning things that are not going to build the country, that silence is not golden. Open your mouth.
Commending the RSVG Police Force along with the NCCP and the Pan Against Crime Committee for their efforts in reducing the level of crime and violence here in SVG, Area Representative Frederick Stevenson, who is also the Minister of Youth, emphasized the need for there to be a collective movement among all Vincentians in the fight against crime and violence. He further called on persons to stand together with the RSVG Police Force to create a better SVG.
One life lost is one life too many. One crime which goes unsolved is one crime too many. As we have said, and you have heard it said before, when your neighbor's house is on fire, you should wet yours. But I say to us this afternoon, when your neighbor's house is on fire, help to wet your neighbor's house and wet your house as well.
Cognizant of the fact that the eradication of crime and violence is everyone's business, all Vincentians are being urged to work alongside the RSVG Police Force in this fight.
See the children crying, give thanks and praise to the Lord, and I will feel alright.
Nikita Tony reporting for SVG-TV News.
A regional border management training workshop will be hosted here from March 6th to 10th at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs Conference Room. The workshop will be hosted by the Ministry of National Security through Passports and Immigration Department in collaboration with the Implementation Agency for Crime and Security Impacts. It will be preceded by an opening ceremony set to take place on Monday, March 6th at 9 a.m. at the conference room of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. The feature address is expected to be delivered by Prime Minister and Minister of National Security, Dr. Rav Gonsalves. Addresses will also come from Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of National Security, Godfred Pompey. Participants for the workshop will be drawn from the Immigration and Customs Department. A special celebratory rally was held on Sunday evening, February 26, 2017, at the Connery School grounds in honor of Prime Minister Dr. Rav Gonsalves for his 23 years of service as a Member of Parliament for the North Central Windward constituency. Sharon Gawe has more on the event in this report.
Residents of North Central Windward and other well-wishers showed up in their numbers on Sunday on the grounds of the Connery Primary School to show appreciation to this country's longest-serving Member of Parliament and leader of the nation, Prime Minister Dr. Rav Gonsalves. Prayers were ushered and songs of worship were sung in reverence to Almighty God for the 70-year-old leader. The event was not solely focused on Gonsalves, as 10 outstanding persons in his constituency were honored for their contribution to society in areas such as farming, community service, teaching, among others. The celebratory atmosphere was punctuated with music and had the energetic leader dancing away. The Prime Minister also delighted the cheering crowd with his distinctive comrade skank.
23 you know make kicks, so you eat them like a Quicks biscuit. Let me see who love up the comrade. I say let me see who love up the comrade. Everybody, let me go, let me go. 1, 2, 3, let me go sit down. Comrade. Comrade.
Former representative of South Windward, Sir Vincent Beach, spoke on what he termed as the tremendous leadership qualities of Dr. Gonsalves and highlighted the importance of his wife, Eloise Gonsalves, whom he credits for ensuring that the Prime Minister has a serene home.
If Ralph didn't have the support
of his wife and family. When he comes to the office in the day and he got problems at home, his mind would be divided, you know, don't make anybody fool you. And he would not be able to give the attention that the job deserves and needs.
Outlining that in his over 2 decades of representation in the North Central Windward constituency and over 40 years of political activism, that Dr. Gonsalves would eventually hand over leadership. General Secretary of the ruling Unity Labour Party, Julian Francis, said when this time comes, it should be an easy transition, which must be accepted by all.
Is to succeed him. Comrade, he is the man to make the decision. We love him. Ralph has served us well. And even though he is no longer political leader and prime minister, when he is ready. Sometimes I think Ralph ain't really ready, you know. But he say he's ready.
As the young, old and middle age showed their appreciation to this country's longest serving member of parliament and leader of the nation, Dr. Gonsalves thanked the people for their continued support and advised whomever was going to fill his shoes to have a love for the people.
We have given out nearly 5,000 lots of land to people, regularize them or give them to build houses for low income. In addition to the nearly 2,000 low income houses which we have built or assisted in building.
Sharon Garraway, SVG Television News.
Fellow colleagues on the government bench in Parliament also had high commendations for the Prime Minister.
But he said basketball gave us Jordan, cricket gave us Brian Lara, and politics in St. Vincent and the Grenadines gave us Comrade Ralph. Comrade, we love you. And tonight, we publicly say thanks for all your hard work and your dedication.
His ability to negotiate, I believe, all of that helped to fashion not only the education revolution, but foreign policy that has brought tremendous benefits to St. Vincent and the Grenadines, including the Argyle International Airport.
To celebrate with the people of North Central Windward, probably their greatest achievement in the history of this constituency, and that was to vote Ralph Everett Gonsalves as their parliamentary representative. This is the place I would rather be than any other place. To celebrate with my leader, my friend, and my almost brother-in-law.
Vincentians are being encouraged to vote and let their opinion be counted in the Best of SVG campaign, coordinated by Rebel Media in collaboration with Interactive Media. Operations Director of Rebel Media, Karen Ferdinand, says the Best of SVG campaign was the brainchild of Interactive Media and seeks to create an opportunity to highlight what to Vincentians is the best SVG has to offer in 115 culturally relevant categories. Ferdinand says the event also creates an opportunity for businesses to improve their productivity and services and encourages persons to participate in the campaign by voting for their favorite service or personality.
What's really great about this campaign is that it gives the opportunity to improve. It not only celebrates what's great right at the moment, it gives the opportunity for those businesses that may not be lucky this year to win to improve for next year. So whilst every business thinks they are brilliant, and they are, the people get to choose who they think is really great. So if you have haven't been a winner this year, you can be a winner for 2018. And that's just by looking at what's not working for you. What do you think you could do better? What could you do better so that in 2018 you are voted the People's Choice winner, Best of SVG 2018?
Ferdinand says the public's opinion always matter and encourages businesses to see the campaign as a means to market their products and services.
Please vote. We've got ballot boxes across the island and the Grenadines, so we're not leaving anyone out on this. We've got ballot boxes in Chateaubriand, in Georgetown, we've got them in Kingstown and Arnasvale, Bequay and Canawan. Vote. This is your chance to actually say who you think is the best. Come on, what's not to win? What's not to love? You actually get a chance to win $1,000 if you fill in a minimum of 25 categories. There's 115. Don't fill in 25. Fill in 115. You know you have an opinion on what you think is the best. Put it out there. And if you're a business, promote yourself. This is going to be an opportunity for you to be able to put as a tagline to your business, I won the People's Choice Award for 2017. I am the best of SVG for 2017. It is the only chance you get to say the people have voted me the best. It's brilliant.
Noting that the voting period ends on Friday, Ferdinand explains further how one can vote.
Only vote by buying a Searchlight newspaper. So the ballot papers are printed every week. Every Tuesday, every Friday, there is a ballot paper in the Searchlight newspaper. You've only got 2 more chances to do that. So we've got tomorrow and we've got Friday. And the campaign closes on Friday. So we've been running since the 3rd of February and we're running right through to the 3rd of March. You fill in your ballot paper, and if you put your name and phone number and 25 as a minimum categories, you are in with a chance to win $1,000.
Kittel's resident Olive Samuel on Friday, February 24th, achieved a significant milestone as she celebrated her 100th birthday. Her continued strength and accomplishments were celebrated at a birthday party at her home with visits from the Governor General, Sir Frederick Ballantyne, the president of the SVG Red Cross Society, Bernard Morgan, as well as long-standing members of the community and well-wishers. President of the SVG Red Cross Society, Bernard Morgan, congratulated Samuel on reaching such a milestone.
Very honored to be here today on this very special occasion to celebrate with you your birthday. Not many people reach this milestone. So we thank God today that you're here with us and you're still going strong. Are you from the Red Cross family? We wish you many more birthdays. And we pray that God will continue to bless you, keep you, and have you at peace.
Thank you.
God bless you, Mom. Thank you.